Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Kacey and Felicia Show. I'm Kacey.
And I'm Felicia.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking to you about military mamas. Now, this is something that I think is very near and dear to my girlfriend's heart. I have a few friends that have been in the military and out, but this is something that we were talking about and discussing, and I saw the passion. I said, you know what? We need to do a show about it.
Yes.
So we're going to do a show, and I'm going to let Felicia tell us what she's thinking about.
Well, when I thought about the whole military mamas, I was watching the news and reading the paper. You know, I try to be in the know. And the problem that a lot of the military mothers are having is that if they're in a relationship, let me first talk about the ones who are divorced. If they're in a divorce relationship and they have to go away, like if they were going to Afghanistan or Iraq, they're fighting a war, they will leave their children with the spouse,
right,
with their ex-spouse. So what's happening, they're gone for,
ex-spouse.
you know, if they're divorced.
Okay.
So if they're gone for like 18 months, a year to 18 months, what's happening now is that the spouses that are here in the States, they're going to the court and getting their wife's physical privilege revoked. So when that wife comes back, she can't get her kid back.
Okay.
So that is becoming the biggest problem. Like the way the military is set up is that when they go away, a lot of things just stop. You know, they're not paying
right.
these
They
bills.
don't have to pay
a lot of things
bills.
is just stop. But there was no rule to stop that from happening, you know, and that is the problem, is that you're having some mothers who are, you know, in the military because they're fighting for our country. This is what they believe in, and this is their job. And what's happening is that if they go over there or wherever they go, they may get pregnant and they come back home because they don't have somebody to take care of their kid. So now that person is just lost their job.
Okay, see, this is where you and I saw something different. Well, in my opinion, being a mom is a job. Okay, and if you're going to get pregnant and be a responsible parent, then maybe being in the military wasn't what you should have been doing, or maybe birth control is what you should have been doing. I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't have the right to have a baby or, you know, fight for our country, but I think that if you've been away for 18 months and the father has been taking care of the child all that time, and you just want to come back and reestablish your relationship with the kid and all that takes time and work. You don't just snatch the kid back from the father who's been taking care of the kid.
Well, you have to look at it from a different point. What if I've had physical custody and I've been taking care of these kids and you just stepping up, whether you're stepping up now or you were in the picture, but I had physical custody. I don't think that those mothers coming back should lose that privilege.
Whatever happened to half and half? What happened to 50-50 custody?
Because even if you have shared custody, one has physical custody, which means that child is with one, you know, every single day. It may just be with the other parent, depending on what they're. They may be just a weekend parent, you know. And then a weekend parent is a parent who is not disciplinary.
What is if she's in Afghanistan or wherever for 18 months, or even whoever the parent is, male or female? What are they? Are they considered a what?
No, they have joint custody. They have joint custody. They're just, I'm going away, so they're giving a child. But what's happening, a lot of women are going away and they're coming back, and the courts are telling them, oh, the child's been with this parent. You've lost the physical custody. And that I have a problem with. So what was happening is that now, this is happening to so many women. And some women, this one woman, she gave her child to the dad when the child was 9, and she didn't get that child back until she was 12. She took it all the way up to the Supreme Court to set a law and to set a precedent, which is now in 30 states, that if you go away, you get to resume the same exact custody that you had before you left. You know, and I understand with everybody, you shouldn't lose your custody because you went, you know, because all of us need jobs, and now we have so many military people, women that are homeless.
But that's kind of shaky, though, and I understand that, and I feel, you know, terrible for the people that have lost their job, that were in the military fighting for our company, our country.
And that's not just the women; that's just women and men. In general. When they come back, they can't find a job.
Yeah, but what about so if these military mamas are going away. Now, let's just hypothetically say they had the child and then they joined the military, okay? And then they went away for a year or 2 years or whatever. Do you think that it's still fair for them to have the same custody?
Absolutely. Really? Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Why?
Because if you already went through the whole court proceeding, just because your job is like saying, if a man
why would you go to fight for your country knowing that you have to be gone for all this time?
But you don't always know that.
And your kids are going to be
you don't always know that.
Everyone knows when you join the military, you're going to be.
It's always a possibility.
And all these other,
but boot camp is normally 6 weeks.
Yeah, but that's a long time. Can you be away from your kids for 6 weeks?
I personally am not a military mama, and the military is not for me.
Exactly.
I mean, I went 18 years, somebody tell me what to do. I can't go another 20 years, somebody tell me what to do. When I left my mama's house, I started making my own rules.
Right.
But I just wanted to be fair. I just wanted to tell the women out there, whether you're in the military, whether you're just going or you're just coming back, there are places out there, organizations that are willing to help you so that you can get your rights back. You can't. You're not.
I'm all
you shouldn't
for
lose your
rights. I believe
you can't lose your rights just because you went off and the judge is like saying, oh, and they be in the best interest. Well, before I left for 18 months, this kid's been with me for like 10 years.
Right.
So that doesn't seem fair.
Okay.
Because I'm sure during that time you're writing, you're calling. They have full access to computers and stuff.
Okay.
They're writing, they're calling, they're doing what's that thing when you can see people from one place to another? Skyping. They're doing all of that. But just because that you go away, you shouldn't lose your children.
No, I don't think you should lose your children. But maybe I think that the situation should be maybe adjusted because...
well, now it is. It's in 30 states. Whatever privileges you had before you left, you will get those when you come back. You will not. The Supreme Court decided that your custody issues will not be decided while you're gone.
Okay. Well,
and then there's a lot of mothers who are gone who want to get a divorce because the dad's back here and he's getting tired and don't want to raise the kids, and some of them want to, come take your kid. I don't want it. But either way, you shouldn't lose your privileges. Right. Whether you are a military mama or just a working mama trying to make it. Right. You should never lose your privilege. You never use your kids when you're trying to do something good.
I understand that, and good is all relative because I'm not sure if I'm not. I'm patriotic enough to say that I would not join the military because they got to go through too much. I'll put it that way. For the people that have done it, I give them major kudos because that's a serious task.
It is. It really is to take on something like that. Yes. I mean, I have a lot of family members that have been in the military, and I have been in a situation that my family was taking care of my mom's sister's son, which I really enjoyed it. But at that age, I realized when he was staying with us, when she had went to boot camp, this was years ago. He's like in his 20s now. But when she had, I don't know where she went, but when he stayed with us, I learned a good lesson. The crib happened to be in my room because there was no room in my mother's room. And the lesson I learned is that when I got older and had children, I wanted to make sure I was married because it was tough. Yes. And I wanted to make sure I was prepared. And also, this to me is the most important thing. I decided never to put baby food in the bottles because it was too hard to clean. So when my kids got 4 months old, when it was time for them to eat that Gerber cereal, I would just put it in the mouth. They'd put it out, put it in the mouth. They'd stick it out. But by a week they had it down. So that
was one of your life lessons right there. The Gerber cereal. Hey, I understand.
You know what? But you don't know what they put in there. It's so sticky and it's hard to clean. But I'm real. This issue really bothers me because you can't go away and take care of this country and then to come back to find out the court has changed the game on you. That I think is atrocious. Because everything is in place for all of your other affairs are all in place.
Right.
But that one wasn't in place, and now it's in place, and I really appreciate that because it wouldn't be fair to do it any other way, And I know you're saying that people they shouldn't have, maybe they should think twice if we want to go to the military, but
I'm just thinking be responsible. I mean, you have children, or if you had the children in the military, that's even another issue to me. I think that mothers should not get pregnant in the military. I really don't. I know you're looking at me like, Kacey, are you nuts? I don't think you should get pregnant.
I think she's defending all of our audience right now. But she solely speaks for herself.
I am speaking for me. I don't think you should get pregnant while you're in the military because for the sole purpose, if you're in the military and you're pregnant, what can you really do for anyone?
Well, I can tell you what happens when you're in the military and you get pregnant. Depending on where you are, sometimes they will send you back stateside. If you're if you're not in the States, they'll send you back stateside, and then you just do something else here.
Okay, so for 9 months.
But it's like a job. The military is not something, they go on for, I don't know if they work 8 to 12 hours, depending on their shift, but they do get to go home and be with their family.
Okay.
That's like saying that they shouldn't get married. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get married. I'm talking about the responsibility of raising a child in the military. If you know that there's a chance that you might have to go away and fight for your country, then what are you doing shacking up with, you know, someone and getting pregnant when you know that that could happen?
Okay, now
to me, that's
really...
just being irresponsible.
We're gonna get a lot of calls.
Whatever, call us.
You're gonna hit us up on Facebook like, "Oh my God, what was she talking about?"
Did she say that? Yes, I said that because I look at, and I have friends that are in the, you know, friends that have been in the military. But I just say it's a matter of being responsible. That's all.
But you make it sound like they're being irresponsible, and that's not it. They're not. This is a job. Some people, you know, it is very hard in today's society to get a job. But with the military, you can get a job.
You can get a job.
And that may be just it. You can get a job. You know, the sad part about it is that once you do your 4 years or 10 years, you may get out and not have a job.
Right.
But you can get a job. And some people go because, you know, like when you graduate from high school, sometimes there are two choices, you know. Get a job or go to the military.
Right.
You know, what's that say? Be all you can be. But neither here nor there. You know, if you want to get a job or the military, they're both. It's still a job.
It is a job. It's a hell of a job
that you're not there 24 hours a day.
Right.
So that shouldn't say, well, no, I shouldn't go.
But sometimes you are there 24 hours a day. And
there's sometimes like nurses. Nurses know they work 12-hour shifts. But there are some jobs here.
That's a whole different obligation. I think when you work for the military, when you're in the military and that is your job, and you're working, your job happens to be you're in the Navy and you're a Navy SEAL. Yeah, I'd like to see one of those pregnant women be, you know, going in the submarines or in the ocean, deep sea diving to fight against I don't think it's a job for a pregnant woman or a woman who is trying to start a family, because it's such an intense job. It's such a job that requires, I think, just more of you. And how can you really devote all of your, I guess you could say, your motherhood to being a mother if you're in that kind of a job? That's just my opinion. Hey, if you want to send some mail,
we are going to
hate, whatever, you do what you got to do. I'm just saying this is my opinion. That's just how.
And we all know what opinions are like.
That's
Everybody
right.
has one.
That's right.
Although I do not agree with your opinion,